Hello friends, welcome to Adi Talks. Today we are going to discuss on the most realistic religion on the earth, that is Sanatan Dharma. Dharma means law and rules set for a large group of people in order to align them in a particular direction. The Sanatan Dharma is the only religion in the history of humanity where the rules were set by the nature itself and decoded by the so-called scientists known as rishis or monks. Sanatan Dharma is totally based on the rules for a responsible human towards nature so that they can live together amicably for the mutual benefit to support human species with other animals, plants, river, mountain, insect, bacteria and environment in order to make perfect ecology of the system and ensure biodiversity. The unwritten Sanatan rules were made for all the constituents of the nature like humans, plants, insects and animals. But ironically, they were written down in Veda for the most intelligent and literate human. The word Sanatan means timeless, perpetual or eternal. The unwritten Vedas were main document on Sanatan Dharma. But writing down anything has a flip side impact also, as the rule will not be useful or become obsolete or unrealistic in the changing time or environment. Even today in India, Hindu chant as Sanatan Dharma ki Jai, which means Sanatan Dharma wins. While there are a huge difference between Sanatan Dharma and Hindu Dharma, Sanatan Dharma is not only for human, but it is for every living entity. For example, what is the dharma of a monkey? The monkey lives on tree, thus ensure germination of flower. Eat leaves and fruits, so decompose them. Drink water and spray urea on the plant by urine. Regenerate and also does parental care to their children. Live in groups, elect leader who save them from the troubles. Keep on moving to appropriate places before the new season in order to save their members from the starvation. They also spread seeds of fruits to ensure greenery for future, fertile the land by their excretion, spread seed of small plants by their body movement, and throw half-eaten fruits for other animals, etc. Monkey follows this rule without being aware. Now, let us talk about a human who has more evolutionary capabilities than the monkey has, like speaking, consciousness, intellect, planning and body efficiency, etc. Now these extra powers come with the extra responsibility. Thus human need to do more than a monkey. The tasks for human are listed in the form of rules of Sanatan Dharma. Initially, all the humans had only Sanatan Dharma to follow across the globe before writing works of Vedas somewhere around 1000 years before Christ. Even today, so-called religion including Hindu, Islam, Christianity, Buddha and Jews are originated from the Sanatan Dharma only. This can be proved by so many examples like use of Om word in all the religions including Hindu as Om, in Jewish they use as Shalom, in Islam they use as Salam. Even Muslim and Christians use Amin or Umain, that is devised from Om itself. The Islam has adopted Sanatan Dharma's main point of formless God. So let's move ahead with the need. The need of Sanatan Dharma arises due to evolution of the most intelligent species called human. As if we did not bind him with the rules, then he could have destroyed the entire ecosystem, like setting fire to the entire jungle, or could have killed most of the animals just for fun. Now let us talk about the rules of Sanatan Dharma. As such, Sanatani did not bind themselves with the rules, while they used to have information to be given to the new member of a family or to the city to manage large number of people. In Sanatan Dharma, the information has to be used till someone develop his intellect, which is called Viveka, and set him free to devise her or his own rules after that. So we are going to discuss some of the activities of Sanatan Dharma like Havan. Havan were performed to pray the five gods and the supreme god which create low pressure area to invite rains. Moreover, burning wood and oblation produce carbon dioxide to feed trees. Surprisingly, the sex was a pious task that time and was done with love and offering to the Supreme in order to regeneration. They had equal rights for women because they were equally concerned with the river, trees, mountain. Then how could they be discriminated with a woman? There was no rule on wedding, and it was only discretion of woman to choose her husband by process called Swayamvar. Even multiple marriages were allowed for men and women. They used to seek permission if want to use fruits, water, woods, etc. Then show gratitude after consumption to the trees and river respectively. Most of the Hindus still offer part of their meal to Supreme. Before meal, they used to talk with every structure like mountain, houses, place, field, river, etc., considering them as a living entity. So when they wanted to climb a mountain, they used to pray to the mountain. Even this is still practiced in Hindu who named every river, mountain, etc. as God and worship them. Recently, science has also proved that non-living objects also listen and act as being alive. Let's move ahead. They did not require any God for fulfilling their personal wishes, as they know that the God has nothing to do with the outcome or result of action, but they were seeker of the supreme consciousness and used to practice it always. There are 5 demigods called Deva or Panch Mahabhut, like Vayu means air, Agni means fire, Prithvi means earth, Jal means water, and Akash means space. The demigods also listen and act when needed or perform prayer. The prayer to the demigod or supreme god has big impact if being offered for a common benefit and by large gathering of people. The biggest proof of God listen the prayer is the evolution. For example, the neck length of camel increased as per his wish to eat leaf of a heighted tree in desert, or reduced hair and tail in human. The followers of Sanatan Dharma never accepted new things as it is. While they used to organize Shastrarth, a session of discussion on Vedanta, and hence the new generation were taught to listen, check, then adopt. Even at the event of death, they had no role of God, as they knew that the death is an illusion and soul just change body like clothes. They used to celebrate the death also. Now let us go further and understand the knowledge level of Sanatan Dharma followers. The main goal of Sanatan Dharma was to get moksha, which is liberation for its people. Liberation from sanskara. Sanskara means storage of experience accumulated out of many births. Moksha lead to stop rebirth. It can be explained as river have its own identity like name, color of water, temperature, pollution level, etc. While when it end up in ocean, then lose its identity and become ocean. Similarly, through meditation and detachment, we washed out our sanskara or the stock of the memories before the death, so that the jivatma, which is impure consciousness, lose its identity and mingle up with the pure consciousness. The soul or consciousness live in the cavity of heart, but this can be felt at the place between the both eyebrow, or which is called Agya Chakra. This has been proved by modern science that the fetus get life after 45 days of its pregnancy, when the heartbeat called cardiac activity start. Even a man will not be declared medically dead till his heart is working. Knowing the abode of God in their hearts, Sanatan Dharma followers did not build any temple. When they want to explain God to others, we call it as Brahma, while when we want to experience it, we call it as consciousness or Shiva, which Shiva means which is not. The sacred sound of God represented as Om. During Sanatan period, the education were granted to Gurukul, to a student in the Gurukul. Gurukuls means the school of modern days, at the Guru's place only, and the education were based on the 64 type of arts for overall development of a student. The education include Ayurveda, chemistry, physics, magic, biology, botany, music, cooking, singing, bodybuilding, and the most important, warfare training, etc. The Sanatani were well versed with the true knowledge of what all can be experienced by all its six senses, called Maya, or nature or world. For example, a building, our own body, plants, soil, field, roads, mountain, desert, ocean, air, sound, smell, thought, etc. The world's hues and cries is because of the three gunas, that is Rajogun, Tamogun and Satogun, karmas, mind, intellect, ego, five senses and five action senses, and the action is result of all these factors, which in turn create the world or Maya. These three gunas are Rajogun, Tamogun, Satogun. Rajogun depict action, energy and unrest, while Tamogun represent stability, darkness and rest, while Satogun is the balance of both guna. So let us move ahead and talk about the mind. Mind is nothing but modification in the consciousness is the mind. Mind is the joint product of consciousness and the nature. Mind is like a wave in the ocean being consciousness. No God role in day-to-day life, but Sanatana Dharma follower knows that the supreme power is managing the entire show efficiently, so they all used to offer prayer. The super soul dwells in every being, is one supreme consciousness who give birth to all, then protect them and then destroy them later. The Brahma cannot be further divided or dissected or never change. The Brahma is not physical, hence cannot be measured, cannot be touched or cannot be experienced by senses. So it was never born, hence cannot be destroyed. But when get condensed with large number of quantity, then create the Maya or the nature. The karma means action, affect consciousness only when the karma has done with the expectation or attachment, because the way we expect things will never happen, as the result is based on the thousands of other factors which we do not consider while making the expectation. Hence we should only work on the right direction, nothing else. Now let us discuss ahankara. Ahankara means ego. Ego is to get associated with anything like position, object or with our own body. This is the ego which binds the soul with the body. The soul of a yogi who is detached and have powers to travel in others' body also. Human consists of mind, body and soul. And if you want to realize the soul, you need to zeroize body and mind by yoga techniques. Now let's move ahead with the Vedanta. Vedanta means the end of knowing that the Brahma, the world is real, is ignorance, which is called avidya, and knowing that you are not a body, you are a soul, is called the knowledge, which lead to understanding of Aham Brahmasmi. The true knowledge is covered by the desire, so let's try to work without desire. Now let's move ahead with the history of Sanatan Dharma, because we had a turning point in Sanatan Dharma something around 15,000 years ago. There was a major flood and the most of the flora and fauna, including the knowledge, was destroyed with it, except the 7 sages who survived. Years later they went to Mount Kailash and seen a yogi who was alive but sitting in a still position for months. He, when awakened from the trance, shared the secret of life and restored the Sanatan Dharma knowledge again. The 7 sages named him as a Shiva, the first yogi on earth, also called Adi Yogi. He guided 112 type of yoga technique to the 7 sages, who later on spread his knowledge to the whole continent and the world. Then the symbol for the god as Shivlinga was introduced that time, which is nothing but to represent Kailash mountain. Before Shivlinga introduction, there was no symbol of formless god being Nirakarishvara. Later on, When the population got increased in the cities, they started constructing temples meant for prayer, not for worship. Put Shivlinga as a witness. Witness means Sakshi. Sakshi or witness of their sadhana. Every day, the first meditator used to clean the linga by water, and later it became the custom of offering water to the Shivalinga. Now let's move ahead with the role of God in Sanatana Dharma. Surprisingly, India happened to be a godless country, and there was very little role of God in Sanatana Dharma in day-to-day life. They were known as the seeker of consciousness and supreme consciousness. How the God created world while He is invisible, without any shape, form, is still known as omnipresent, omnipotent. He is neither air, nor fire, nor space, earth, not water. He does not love or hate anyone. He does not want anything. He is neither seen or seer, never born, hence never dies, even not a doer. Then how to explain God? So let us move ahead and try to explain the God, as we have got two ways as follows. The first way to explain God or understand God is to go subtler, then subtler, until you get the last unit, which cannot be broken further. Like when we break a molecule, we get atom. When we break atom, then we get electron, neutron, proton. Further breaking may not be possible for modern science. But if we get the opportunity to break further, then can find an identical unit which has character as explained above. As a single unit, it has no characteristic, but when accumulated in large quantity, it becomes Maya or nature. Like a droplet of water does not have any character of wetting anything visible, but in the ocean made by the numerous droplet can do anything. One more example of bricks, where the million of structure have been made in different design and sizes, while the smallest unit being a brick only. And at last, when the natural forces and environment or any celestial incident can stop supporting life, then destroy all the structures, animal, plants, and then only Brahma remains. After millions of years again, fresh evolution will take place, and so on. And the Brahma, which is consciousness, can be unmanifested also for years. Now let's move ahead on the second way to understand the God. That is, try to imagine the gross bigger than the biggest. For example, like the smallest unit is atom. Then we have got bigger unit than atom is molecule, then cell, then tissues, then body, then all the human body, then mountain, rivers, animal, field, whole earth, then galaxy, then universe. Now you can imagine that you are not a individual unit as human, but you are mere a cell of a big body. The cell exert all the character of a fully grown human. Like cell also give birth to new cell, they generate energy, they are multiplying, they have got a regeneration also, they breathe also, they excretion also, they die also. So they have got, a single cell has got all the characteristics like a fully grown body. So let us assume that a human is just a cell of a gross body, then a colony of the same called tissues. So let us assume that the other animals are like cells of different tissues. Then we have got insect, like we have virus, bacteria. Human body has 40% weight as bacteria only. Now the dead skin, nails, hairs are like dead mountains and fields. The blood transportation system is a replica of water and ocean. Surprisingly, the body has 70% of the water, and the earth also has 70% of the water. The lymphatic system of body is like drainage system of city. Then we have got respiratory system, as the earth is having air system. The nervous system depict in the earth like the electricity generation system by air and water. We have got empty space in the body also, so that the earth also have space, that is Akash. Then we have got endocrine system in the body, so universe also has the consciousness system. Now imagine with the closed eyes that you are just a cell of a huge body. Being a cell of a huge body, how important you are as human. If you agree, then why to have ego with these little powers of a cell? The same was explained by the Sri Krishna in Virat Swarup to Arjuna. in Mahabharata Yuddha. Now let's move ahead with the Sanatan Dharma versus other religion. Some are chanting Sanatan Dharma ki Jai at temples or Hindu. They are not knowing that during Sanatan regime there was no temple. In Hindus, every day new god is being launched and their god is being offered 56 type of food cooked in pure ghee, while 40% of the population of India are malnourished. How can a god who is responsible to move galaxy and star and planets and also feeding an elephant to the insect even 10 feet below the ground need your offering? Actually, it happens to satisfy the mind of the devotee. The biggest mistake is exercised in the name of God is the misuse of religion, while the God is nothing to do with the religion. The God has to take care of entire universe, and the human value in his eye is not more than a mosquito. The God has to manage 8.4 million type of entities, and human is one of them. The human has created religion, not by the God. The induction of the God into religion is a conspiracy by the lazy people who wanted to get their work done without putting efforts. Nowadays, religion has entered into your bed, dictating what and how things to happen in your bed, what to wear, even why a Muslim woman has to cover her full body, including face, during the hot season of summers, just because it has been written by somewhere in the desert by a short-sighted writer who had not seen other areas than the desert. In order to avoid sand entering in her body, it was needed to cover full body there in the desert, but it is not required everywhere. Even the contractor of the religion will dictate what to eat, even link this with the God also. This is really ridiculous. Now let's move ahead and talk why no takers of Sanatan Dharma now. This is a big question of time, that why Sanatan Dharma had been forgotten by human in spite of being the most appropriate order of the planet and does not divide people on the basis of their language, caste and location and skin color. The Sanatan Dharma has started losing its originality when the rules were written down on papers somewhere around 1000 BC and become the religious document, holy books, and followed by the bigots. As it is, there has been millions of books which contradict their own religion. Even some of the biographies of great personality have been served as a holy book, and thousands of rules were added for every important activity of life, starting from birth to death. Over the period of time, then it become cumbersome to follow, and large chunk of people launched new religion like Islam, Jainism, Buddhism and Christianity. The writer of these books has imposed burden of unnecessary rules and knowledge which later become difficult to follow. Like what happened when you downloaded hundreds of applications in your mobile, it will be hanged. Now let us move ahead and talk about what Sanatan Dharma can do in this current situation. Let me tell you friends that Sanatan Dharma can do wonder. The world is facing biggest challenges in the form of population, pollution, climate change, terrorism and world war. The Sanatan Dharma is capable of solving all the physical and mental issues created by the intelligent human, first being pollution, then population, then replantation of destroyed jungle. The man has forgotten his duty towards the nature and raising skyscrapers to show its pompousness and want to prove bigger than the God itself. Sanatan Dharma has a magic to attract billions of people worldwide if offered correctly, and overcome shortcoming of all the existing religion which has occupied human mind to that extent that does not have time to live their life without stress. The industrial growth is having suicidal effect, and if Sanatan Dharma is adopted, then the psychology turn to positive towards every living and non-living entity, and the entire world will become one, and discrimination on the basis of caste, religion, language and skin color will be abolished from this society. So that's all friends. Sanatan Dharma ki Jai Ho.